So Dennis, here we are 2 days after your magnificent breakfast and parade, and we're in the Bozar on St Patrick's Day, so tell us what's happening now.
This is the traditional big event of the year, the annual reception hosted by the Irish Embassy and the permanent representation to the European Union. It is hosted by all 4 ambassadors, and guest of honour is Minister Dara Murphy from Cork, who's Minister for European Affairs and Data Protection. He will deliver a speech tonight and welcome all the guests of the diplomatic circles and the Irish community and members of the international community to be part of this big day today.
Well, that sounds fantastic, so we will be sure to listen to a little bit of his speech. Thank you, Dennis. It's St Patrick's Day, and we have with us Minister Dara Murphy, who's got special responsibility for European affairs as well as data protection. Now, Minister, it's magnificent night, St Patrick's Day, celebrated all over the world. Remarkable because it emanates from a small country. And we have 2 small countries at the helm of the EU this year. Can you tell me what small countries, politically and culturally, bring to the EU party?
Well, I mean, the greatest asset of all that Europe has is its diversity, and of course, whether to small or large countries, we have a great diversity in Europe, and yet at the same time so much in common. I think small countries just add to that rich tapestry of culture, of music, and a slightly different point of view from time to time. Some of the bigger countries, of course, have a difficult relationship, a more historical relationship from time. So that's why it's important that the balance that is even within some countries is celebrated in Europe. Different religions, cultures, and so many different beliefs. As the French would say, vive la diversité,
Well, that's an excellent answer. And of course, you come from Cork, which is probably almost a country within a country. Tell us why we should go to Cork, why we should maybe work in Cork, certainly visit it. People go there to study. What makes Cork different even within a smaller country like Ireland?
Well, Cork is known as the most beautiful part of Ireland. It has a population in the county of approaching about 500,000 people. So it's not too big and it's not too small. It has a beautiful city. It has a university, an airport, a port with connectivity to Europe and the world. And it also has 2 universities. So it has the great mix, but it's also close to beautiful West Cork and Kinsale and places like that, so tourists can fly into our airport and experience a beautiful, compact Cork was City of Culture in 2005. So you can get the mix of the traditional Irish city, which is fun, but also the beauty of West Cork and the culture. So it's a complementary city to Dublin. I think if you've been to Dublin, I think maybe your next visit perhaps is to come south to Cork. But we have many beautiful cities in Ireland. And I think we like to, we're very welcoming people, and we like to show off our culture, whether it is musical, whether it is sporting, or our food, or whatever it happens to be.
Well, that's an excellent sales job from Minister Murphy here. Now I'm going to ask you something about data protection, which is your other hat. Now, big data is here with us. It's here to stay. We've never shared more information before. It's not going to go away. Now, of course, people need protecting, but there are concerns out there, particularly in the medical profession, for example, that over-protection of data will maybe slow down research and possibly investment as a kickback from that. And certainly in health, maybe we could save more lives if more data was available. Is there a middle way?
Well, I think there is. I mean, we have to strike a balance between protecting people's personal data, which is very important, and of course allowing the great scientific advances that allows, data analytics and various algorithms to assist in whether it is scientific, medical, or even educational. And I think there are ways, particularly when it comes to depersonalizing data. I don't see why data on people should be kept with their name and maybe their social security number forever, perhaps details about their religion, but it should be possible, and it is possible, to depersonalize data. So the important elements from the research point of view, like your age, your gender, your blood type, whatever other, but without having your name, of my name Dara Murphy or whoever else's name. So that's the sort of space, but we need to be creative and imaginative in not stifling invention and innovation, while at the same time protecting people's privacy. And people have a job to do themselves, I think, in protecting their own personal data, because we put an awful lot of stuff up on the internet and on social media ourselves. So we have a responsibility ourselves, to protect our own data. But governments equally must play their role in that, but as you say correctly, without stifling innovation and invention.
And one final, less serious question. As we mentioned, it's St Patrick's Day. You've got a little bit of a job to do, I believe, at Grand Place with the greening of our beautiful square. And so, of course, you're on duty. But I have to ask you, Minister, if you were to allow yourself a little drink on St Patrick's Day, what would it be?
Well, it would be Murphy's. We're famous for Guinness in Dublin, but Cork has Murphy's in Beamish. They're all of our stouts. We're very much of the view that a small amount of a small tipple in moderation, if people can control it, is no harm. And I think that's the way most Irish people enjoy a tipple. So when I am finished now with this interview with you, having made my speech and turning on the lights in Grand Place, I might have a little tipple of Irish stout of some description.
That's fantastic news. At least you didn't say Barry's Irish tea, Minister, which would have thrown us a wee bit sideways. All we can say is have a fantastic night. Thank you ever so much for your time, and Sláinte.
Sláinte. And there's always a time for Barry's Irish tea as well, but perhaps in the morning or the afternoon or some evenings, maybe even St Patrick's Day. Gura maith agat. Thank you very much.